helps us in running JavaScript in your PC directly without any browser. अभी समझ आ गया सबको? Clear, guys? Okay, cool. Okay, Vikas, just let me unmute you. Yes, Vikas, please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello.
हाँ विकास.
वो सर जिस तरह की कोड करते हैं इस पे जावा स्क्रिप्ट का कोड करते हैं तो वो टर्मिनल पे सर वो जो नोड लिख के या फाइल का कोई नाम डालते हैं तो वहाँ उसका क्या यूज होता है सर नोड का वहाँ पे?
फाइल का नाम डालते हैं एज इन
जिस तरह की नोड लिख के मतलब टर्मिनल पे सर नोड लिखने के बाद जो फाइल का नाम होता है कुछ भी
वो
जावा
उस
स्क्रिप्ट
फाइल को
डॉट
रन करने के लिए होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक फाइल बना दूं
जी
जिसका नाम
जी
मैंने रख दिया happy.js. ठीक है.
यस यस
अब मुझे जावास्क्रिप्ट को रन करना है विदाउट ब्राउजर, है ना?
जी जी जी
तो मैं कैसे रन करूंगा? नोड की मदद से. तो आई विल डू नोड देन फाइल नेम, सो इट विल एग्जीक्यूट दैट प्रोग्राम विच इज रिटन इनसाइड दैट फाइल. ठीक है.
ओके 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 अंडरस्टैंड सर.
ठीक है. सो बेसिकली व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी आर रनिंग जावास्क्रिप्ट विदाउट ब्राउजर.
या
So
ओके
that's the reason.
ओके थैंक यू सर.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else has any questions, or we can move forward? Today we need to check the folder structure of React application that we have created yesterday. Okay, cool. Okay, so this was our code yesterday, if you guys remember. So I was telling you guys about the folder structure. So let's just go through it today. Okay. Now I have discussed about package.json. Am I correct? Each and every person who's present in this session knows about package.json. है ना? Package.json is clear. Cool. So I will not talk about package.json, and about node modules. You guys are also clear. What does this node modules folder do? Which parts do I need to repeat? Package.json or node modules? Log.json we don't need to touch currently. Log.json को अभी छोड़ दो. मुझे node modules और package.json बताओ. Are you guys able to understand node? Okay, so node modules is nothing. All the packages that you have installed, they are present inside this folder. Okay. Package.json contains the name of those packages, and node modules folder contains all those packages. Okay, all those packages that you have installed via npm. So all those packages, their folders are present inside this. Okay. Like we install a game or any program on our computer, so it creates a file inside C folder, है ना? Okay, so we have two very important folders now, public and source. Let's just discuss about them. So public folder, na? Public folder contains all the public files, or I would say all the HTML files. ठीक है, HTML related files जो कि React से related नहीं है, they are inside this. Okay, so let's just discuss about these files one by one. And when we are discussing about these files, let me also run this program, or I would say run this app. npm start is a command that you use for running your application, and let me show this application to you guys over here. Okay, so this is our application. So robots.txt, just like this is just some extra information. So basically, okay, just forget robot.txt for now. We'll discuss about it later. Just forget it. Manifest.json, forget about this also. Okay, these two things we'll discuss about them later on. ठीक है? ब्राउजर पे कौन कोड करता है विकास? Okay, and other things, let me tell you about other things. So this logo.png, this is a PNG file. So this is an image of this React logo. This is an image of this React logo, which is used in over here, which is used over here. Okay, so we have two sizes. This is for different screen sizes. Okay, clear? Clear, guys? Okay, now we have index.html. Okay, now we have index.html. So index.html is the only HTML file where all your React code. So this is the, as I have told you, React is a single page application. Hai na? I have told you React is a single page application. So this is this single HTML page where all your data or all your components will be loading. Is it clear? This is your single HTML page where all your components will be loading. Clear, guys? Okay. Then we have favicon. So favicon is just this icon which is present in your browsers tab over here. Okay. Are you guys not able to see browser screen? Very good. तब से बोल क्यों नहीं रहे थे? So basically, this was the image about which I was talking, and this is the favicon about which I was talking. Okay, an HTML file. You can add favicon is very simple. In every, like whenever you want to add any favicon in your HTML page, you just need to do this link, and here is your favicon. Okay, and your favicon should be an ICO file. This is how you add favicon in your HTML page. Clear? Favicon means this icon, this icon. Like in Node, we have this icon. Like in Newton School, we have this icon. This is called favicon. Okay. It should be an ICO file. Like ICO is a proper format. It could be a PNG or any other image file also, but it is suggested to use ICO file, where we'll discuss about these things later on. So don't worry. Or you might have already discussed about these things. How many of you guys have idea about SEO? How many of you guys have idea about SEO? You might have discussed this while learning HTML. Does anybody told you basics of, okay, if I ask why we should have a structured HTML page, do you know the reason for having a structured HTML page? Why we should have a structured HTML page? Okay, nobody knows. Okay, so basically for search engine optimization is, yes, better SEO. So search engine optimization is whenever you search for something, certain results appear on your screen, and each and every company wants to be at top. So they do good SEO. That is search engine optimization. Whenever somebody searches for you in any search engine like Google, which is a search engine, so you should be at top. So you have to optimize your website in a way. So one of those things is if you write good HTML. Good HTML means each and every HTML tag has a proper use case. Each and every HTML tag has a proper use case that when you should use that tag. So if you use a proper HTML tag and create a proper skeleton of your website have a higher ranking. Okay. So this favicon would work over there. So if the extension for this image would be PNG, JPG, or something like that, then your SEO won't be that much good. But if it is ICO, then it would be good. Okay. And this this robots.txt, it is also for that. So basically, search engines have crawlers. Crawlers are bots which crawls in different HTML pages and finds the best. So this robot.txt is for that. It feeds your crawlers. Okay, let's just discuss about source folder now. Okay, so each and every person knows about like each this part is clear now. Public folder is clear. What does it contains? It is clear to each and every person. What does it contains? Guys, we'll discuss about HTML tags later on. First, let me know, is it clear? All the things which are present inside public file. I've told about the HTML file also. This is the only HTML file inside our React app. As we know, React is a single page application. So this is that single page. Just forget robot.txt for now. Just forget robot.txt and manifest.json for now, because even if I try to explain, you won't be able to understand them at this point. Okay, that is the reason. So we'll discuss about them later on. For robot.txt, as I've told you, each and every search engine has some crawlers. Okay, crawlers go through different websites and gather information, and then on the basis of that information, that searches those websites. Sorry, that they rank those websites. Okay, so those crawlers, they take information from robot.txt. So you can put the information in robot.txt, what crawler can like consume, what crawler cannot consume. And on the basis of that information, your crawlers, or I would say search engines crawlers, would list your website. I know it is too much technical or not very easy to understand. So that is why I'm not explaining it in detail. Okay. So let's just move forward to source folder. So in source folder, we have some very important files. We have some very important files, which we will be using throughout our journey. Okay. Like app.css. Okay. So app.css is just a CSS file. We'll discuss about it in a while. Just keep it aside. Okay. Let me tell you what are some important JavaScript files over here. Index.js and app.js. These are very important. Okay. So index.js is basically, it is your most important JavaScript file. So yesterday you said about original DOM and virtual DOM. My question is that which DOM will change first? Virtual DOM. In React, virtual DOM changes first, and then on the basis of the changes, it updates real DOM. Okay. I have told you guys about virtual DOM. Were you guys not able to hear? Am I audible? Hello? Yeah, okay. So virtual DOM is clear now. Like virtual DOM changes first, and on the basis of that, it updates the real DOM. Yeah, sure. Actually, it will take this week as I'll go to my laptop stores on Saturday or on Sunday, maybe. So from next week, you'll be able to see my face also. Okay. Okay, so let's just discuss about this index.js. Okay, so this is file. So what we are doing over here, let's just see that. We are importing React, we are importing React DOM, we are importing app.js, these report vitals, which you guys don't need to know about currently. So I will not let you guys know about this. And this index.css. So let's just see what is happening over here. So basically over here, as you can see, we are importing two things, React and React DOM. So React is the React library. Okay, React is the React library. What is React DOM? What is React DOM? So see, as we know, React is a library. Okay, React is a library, and we are using it along with our HTML. Am I correct? React is a library, and we are using, and as somebody was asking about React Native, so React can be used for doing multiple things. It can be used for creating web apps. It can be used for creating Android apps, iOS apps, and other things also. Okay, so here we want to use React for creating a web page or a web application. So that is why we are using React DOM. So React DOM is kind of a glue layer. Glue layer. So what do you mean by glue layer? Basically, it connects your React with HTML. It binds them. It connects them. That is why we are using React DOM over there. Is it clear, guys? React DOM is clear. What is React DOM? This package that we are using and why we are using it. This is a glue layer between React and your HTML. So it is binding them together. Clear? Okay. Now let's just go forward. So what we are doing over here is React DOM.render. We are rendering our React DOM. React strict mode, don't need to understand. Just understand that over here, what we are doing now, we are just binding this React application, this React with this document.getElement by root. So what is this document.getElement by root? If you go to index.html, we would be able to find this div id root over here. So we are getting this division. We are getting this division, and we are binding it with React. Okay, this is the React. So React.strict mode is basically we are using React in strict mode. Okay, that is it. Just for now, you can understand that we are using React. That is it. We are using React, and we are binding React with root. This is root is the ID. Root is the ID. You can name this ID anything. In index.html, we have this ID root. That is why get element by ID root. Okay. Don't focus on strict mode currently. Don't focus on strict mode. There are basically different modes of React which are used on different environments. So we don't need to know them currently. So don't worry about it. Okay. It is just one of the modes of React. If you it is not very relevant at this point. Okay. It was asked in mock actually. Okay. So basically what you can say is in React, we have multiple modes for multiple environments like local, dev, prod. So in different environments, we use different modes. So over here, we are using React.strict mode. Clear? No. React JavaScript strict is different. That is different. Now let's just focus over here, please. It is not, I guess. It is not, I guess. Actually, I have not changed index.js file very much. So I don't think it is necessary. Or I'll let you know later on. Okay, I just need to read about this. I don't think it is necessary because in earlier versions, we don't have strict mode. Okay, but I don't know. Maybe they have made this compulsory also. So no idea about that. Okay, so let's just discuss this. So basically what we are doing is we are binding this application, or I would say we are binding React with this. Now you are able to see this app over here. Okay, what is this app? So this app is the entry point of your React application. We are binding React with our index.html now. Hai na, guys? This much is clear. Amul, we don't need to understand the meaning of each and every word. Just over here, just understand this, that render is used for binding these two together. Okay, there is no certain things doesn't have any meaning. Okay, if I talk about render means is whenever you are rendering something, when you are running something, but it is not relevant. Now, if I am not talking about it, then it is not relevant. Okay, so you can say that over here we are just binding these two together. Now, please focus on this and let's just move forward. So you might be saying why we are using this app. Okay, so because for every React application, app.js, or for most of the applications, I would say app.js is the entry point. Okay, app.js is the entry point. अब मजे के लिए मैं क्या करूं यहाँ पे, ये बताओ सिराजुल, what should we do? मजा नहीं आ रहा तो are you guys able to understand or not? Please let me know first. Are you guys able to understand or not? Let me know first. Okay, only one person. हाँ, समझ नहीं आ रहा तो ये बोलो ना, कौन सा पार्ट समझ नहीं आ रहा वो पूछो. Okay, Amit. If you are not able to understand, please say. मजा नहीं आ रहा, कोई point नहीं हुआ. Okay, Amit, I'm unmuting you. Yes, Amit, please go on. Amit, I'm not able to hear you. Sorry. Hello. Okay, anybody else able to hear Amit? Because I'm not able to hear. Okay, Amit. Okay. Okay, anybody else? If you guys have any doubts, please, I'll unmute you and you can ask issues. बेसिक कंसेप्ट क्या समझ नहीं आया धर्मेंद्र? मतलब कौन सा पार्ट है जो समझ नहीं आया तुम्हें, वो तो बताओ मुझे. बेसिक में क्या आता है? अभी तो मैं बिल्कुल समझा, अभी तो थ्योरी चल रही है बस. हमें सिर्फ फोल्डर स्ट्रक्चर समझ रहे हैं अभी हम. Okay, anybody else who's not able to understand, I will unmute you and you can ask your question. वो best रहेगा, I guess, for you guys also, so that you would be able to resolve your queries. So please let me know. Guys, at least reply. We have 129 people present in this session. Okay, जिन्हें समझ आ गया वो yes लिख दो कम से कम फिर. Okay, Shanu, I'm not going off topic. These are all the topics which will be asked from you in an interview. I was just telling you about React. Is this off topic? React.strict mode. No, we don't need to write code. I am not telling you, Akash, this question is not relevant at this point now. First of all, I'm just telling you guys about the structure. You are going fast. Okay, at which part you think I'm going fast? Because I have repeated the same thing thrice. पब्लिक में क्या समझाना यार, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. पब्लिक में कुल मिला के सिर्फ एक फाइल है जो कि है index.html. ठीक है, इसी के बारे में मैंने बात करी है कि रिएक्ट जो होती है सिंगल पेज एप्लीकेशन होती है, उसमें सिर्फ एक HTML पेज होता है. तो कुल मिला के एक जो HTML पेज है वो ये रहा, बस. इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. ये फेव आइकन, लोगो, ये सारी एक्स्ट्रा चीजें हैं, इसीलिए मैं उन पर ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहा हूँ. manifest.json, robot.txt, ये सब एक्स्ट्रा चीजें हैं, इन पे ध्यान मत दो, इस पे ध्यान दो बस, index.html पे. और ये फैब आइकन मैंने बता दिया है क्या होता है. ये सिर्फ एक इमेज है यहाँ पे और कुछ नहीं है. ये दो भी सिर्फ इमेजेस हैं जो कि यूज हो रखी हैं HTML में, और कुछ नहीं है. इसके अलावा सोर्स की बात करें, सोर्स के बारे में बता रहा हूँ अभी. इज रिएक्ट और रिएक्ट डॉम इज पैकेज, बोथ ऑफ दोज आर पैकेजेस. वी आर कॉलिंग देम ओवर हियर, बोथ ऑफ दोज आर पैकेजेस. नहीं, रिएक्ट डॉट स्ट्रिक्ट मोड रिएक्ट फ्रेगमेंट नहीं है. और रिएक्ट फ्रेगमेंट की तुम बात ही क्यों कर रहे हो अभी से? पहली बात तो, if this is the basic session where I am just telling you guys about the basics of React, then why we are talking about React fragments? You are speaking fast. अरे तो I am speaking fast, so let me know ना which point you are not able to understand. Vinay Kumar, Which point you're not able to understand, please ask. Yes, Amit, just give me a second. Yes, Amit, please ask. Amit, we are still not able to hear you. React DOM, is it syntax? Yes, this is syntax. And to be very frank, now guys, you would never be writing this code by yourself. This is something which would be provided to you by CRA. I am just explaining this code. So don't think that you need to write this code by yourself. Okay. Why we write React strict mode now? Okay, first of all, React strict mode is not important. It is not like strict mode in JavaScript. It is not like that. Okay. It is not important. That is why I'm not covering it at this point, because there are multiple other modes in React also. So when we move forward to that, then we will cover that. No? React strict mode, just understand it like this. Okay, yes, I have just removed strict mode. It will still work. It will still work. You can see. Okay. They might have made it mandatory then. Okay, strict mode is not very important. That is why I'm not covering it at this point. Otherwise, I need to cover all the things.
Hello, am I
React DOM
audible?
dot render. React dot render is basically a method. ठीक है, React DOM के अंदर एक method है dot render, and what we are rendering inside here, we are just attaching our React application with our index.html. This is what we are doing over here. Why you guys need to understand the parameters of React, parameters of render method? May I ask Mayank? Oh, sorry, Atul, who asked this question. Yes, can you explain more on the parameters of render method? Atul, may I know why do you need to know about the parameters? Because it only took two parameters. First one is your React app, second one is your HTML page. It just needs to bind them together. Irrelevant questions. Okay, Amit. First one is HTML tag and second one is an element. No, this is not HTML tag. Who said this is an HTML tag? Who said this is an HTML tag? I never said this is an HTML tag. Yes, Atul, it is JSX, but most of guys don't know what JSX is because they are not allowing me to go through the basic structure so that I can move forward and talk about the important things. First of all, now to be very frank, you will never be writing this whole file by yourself. You will never be writing this whole file by yourself. Yes, both are packages or dependencies, whatever you want to call them. Both are packages or dependencies. They are interchangeable words, by the way. So if I call dependency and package, so don't get confused between them. Okay. So these are two packages, React and React DOM. I'm continuing with the session, guys, because till now I haven't heard any relevant question. Not any relevant question. So please let me know, are you guys able to understand what I have taught till now? If you are not able to understand, at least ask the questions from the things that I have taught. And if I have told you guys about something that it is not important at this point, so believe me, it is not important at this point because we are learning basics. So there is no point of going towards the advanced topics initially. So last time I'm asking, are you guys able to understand this file? I have not told you about report web vitals. The reason is because it is not important. It won't affect your React application. It would affect your React application later on when you are able to create a very large React application and you want to see each and every part of the application is working properly. Okay, so that is why I have not covered this. This strict mode I have not covered at this point because there are multiple other modes also. So there is no point of covering it at this point. Okay. So at least let me know. Are you guys able to understand or not? And if you have any questions, there is a noise coming from your side. भाई शादी हो रही है किसी की, क्या करूं मैं बताओ? शादी रुकवा दूं? कर सकता हूं मैं ऐसा? चलो, let's just move forward. ठीक है, let's just move forward. So basically over here, we are just binding our React application with our HTML. Okay. And there is one question which I was thinking most of you guys might ask, but you haven't asked, that what is this app? Okay. So let me tell you about this. So basically this app is app.js file. This app is app.js file. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this app is app.js file. And this is the entry point for our application. So for all of your React applications, or I would say most of your React applications, app.js would be an entry point. Okay. It means your app starts from app.js. .js is not required in app. Yes. .js is not required in any of these files whenever you are calling them. Okay. And this is how you import. This is how you import files or packages. Okay. Both the things. So if you are importing a package, you just need to write down import, then that particular object that you're getting from that package from the package name. Okay. And if you are going forward with a file, so same thing applies over here. And if you're importing a file like CSS, although it is not relevant at this point to tell you guys about how we are importing CSS, because we will do it by ourselves later on. Okay. We'll do it by ourselves later on. So अभी से सब समझा दूंगा तो कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. So focus करते हैं app.js पे दोबारा. So basically this app is app.js, and why I have encapsulated it inside this React. Why? Because it is the entry point for React, and inside this we are writing our React code. Okay, inside this app.js we are writing our React code. That is why I have encapsulated inside React. It means whatever inside this has React and React. Okay, this thing is clear. This thing is clear. Okay, cool. Now let's just come to app.js. This is where your real logic is present. Okay, whatever I will change over here will affect there. For example, if I do this React lecture, I've changed this React lecture. Okay, if I change this over here and I'll put today is our class, then you guys can see I'm able to see this. Today is our second class. Okay, this is the important file. अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछना, ठीक है? Is this virtual DOM you are talking about? No, this is not virtual DOM. So basically how it works now, let me tell you. Basically, this application would have a real DOM. Okay. So when I change words over there, so earlier this was learn React. Earlier this was learn React. In virtual DOM, this was the real DOM. This is virtual DOM. In virtual DOM, it was also learn React. Am I correct? Am I correct? Guys, yes or no? Okay, cool. Okay. Now when I have changed my code, so this learn React will become React lecture. Okay. And this in real DOM, it is still learn React. Okay. I'm just writing LR. Then whenever something changes in virtual DOM compares itself with real DOM. Okay. Then it get compared. Then it see, okay, this thing is changed. Everything else is same, but this part is changed. So it will update that part. And then real DOM and virtual DOM both have learn React. React lecture, RL, React lecture. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? This thing is happening behind the scenes. Okay, it is not happening over here. There is no virtual DOM present over here because it is just a normal browser. Browser knows that एक DOM होता है ना. Browser only knows that there is only one DOM. Browser doesn't have idea that there are two DOMs. This is something which is happening behind the scenes in your React code itself or in your React logic itself. Okay, clear? Clear, guys? Okay. So this is how the virtual DOM works for this change. Browser doesn't exist in Node.js ना? नहीं भाई, ब्राउजर नोड में कैसे होगा, बता मुझे. इधर बात करते हैं, चलो इधर आओ. So see, this is a functional component. ठीक है, this is a component because everything in React is a component. Am I correct? Everything in React is a component. Am I correct? हाँ ना बोल दो भाई, 125 बच्चे हो तुम यार. अगर समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना तो कम से कम बता तो दिया करो कि समझ नहीं आ रहा है. न्यूटन स्कूल तुमसे पैसे लेगा नौकरी लगने के बाद, ठीक है. यू गाइस गोना पे देम once you get a job, so at least try to get the best. If you think that I'm not able to teach you properly, then you should be able to ask questions. Okay, you are paying me indirectly for this thing, so just think about it. Okay, so everything in React is a component. So do app.js, because app.js is the entry point, so it would also be a component now. Okay, app.js is a component. Just focus on your studies, you will get the job. From Newton School, without Newton School, you will get the job. Getting job is not very difficult. Learning is very difficult. Okay. So app.js is our component. DSA is tough. Yes, I know. But for becoming a full stack developer, it is not necessary to be a master in DSA. I don't know DSA very well, but I'm a full stack developer since last 3 years. So believe me. Okay. Now let's just focus over here. Everything in React is a component. This is a component. There are two types of component. I have told you guys, functional and class based. Am I correct? Sorry for my handwriting. Functional and class based. This is a functional component. How do we know this is a functional component? Because it is written over here. Function. ठीक है? Clear guys? अभी इसके बारे में डीप में नहीं जाऊंगा मैं, बिकॉज ये बाद में हम कंपेयर करेंगे. अभी हम इस पे आते हैं. पहले ये वाला जो पार्ट जो HTML की तरह दिख रहा है, दिस इज नॉट HTML. ठीक है, पहले ये तुम्हें समझा देता हूँ क्या है. ठीक है, यू राइट फंक्शन. यस, वी विल, व्हेन आई राइट फंक्शनल कंपोनेंट्स, only then I'll be explaining them. अभी मैं explain नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Currently I'm just telling you guys that this is a functional component. ठीक है, this is a functional component. Yes, it's function, right? Yes, it is function. That is why it is returning something. What it is returning? It is returning JSX. This is called JSX. Now, what is JSX? If we talk about what is JSX, this is very important. So JSX is typed JavaScript, I would say. Okay, JSX is syntactically typed JavaScript. It looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. Okay, it looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. Okay, it looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. These 2 points are clear. And by syntactically typed or syntactically sugared means it is presented in a way that it looks familiar. It is presented in a way that it looks familiar to you, but it is not HTML. So basically, if you need to write down this code without JSX now, so it would be something like DOM dot get element by ID, then ID name, then some data, then another JavaScript, then another. So it would be like much more difficult to write. There would be so much of code. Then inside this, you need to add a child. That a child would be header and this kind of thing. Okay, so that would be very much hectic or very much difficult to understand. Am I correct? Am I correct? That would be Pratik. Boring as in, can you please let me know what you are not able to understand? Because this is not a picture that you will get code in JS. Code in JS is boring as in I'm not able to understand your point. Okay, I need to do this. Then at least write the whole thing. So what's why we are writing these HTML in app.js? This is not HTML, this is JSX. That is why we have created JSX. Okay. That is why we have created JSX, because understanding the code, if the whole thing is written in JavaScript, then understanding the code would be very much difficult for us. Okay. Understanding the code would be very much difficult for us. We need to keep adding data. Okay. We need to write this whole thing in JavaScript, which would be very difficult to understand, very difficult to debug. Just del that logo file and show a simple heading and content creating in app.js. Sunny, I'll do that. First, let me focus on what I'm doing, if you can. It is not okay. You can delete the whole thing if you want to. Okay. This is working. But we need that thing because I need to explain JSX. Okay. So let's just came back to this, guys. So basically, you guys are able to understand JSX looks like HTML, but it is not HTML. Okay. I mean, very one is not able to understand that whole code. I'm not explaining the whole code. Now, currently, I'm just explaining about JSX, and this is understood by each and every person. है ना? देख के, I think each and every person would be able to understand this. Am I correct? This is a div tag. Inside this, we have header. Inside that, we have an image, then a p tag, then a tag. I don't think this is the most basic thing. Each and every person would be able to understand this. Am I correct? 125 लोग बता दो. So now my mic would be fixed. बाद में करेंगे हमें तब हो गया. Please format is using prettier. अरे यार prettier. ठीक है. JSX you guys are able to understand. Now how JSX is different from HTML. So one difference is in Java, in HTML you use class, but class is a reserved keyword in React. Class is a reserved keyword in React. That is why we are using class name. Is it clear? Because as I've told you, there are two types of components: functional based, class based. Functional based are functions, class based are classes. So that is why class is already reserved. That is why we use class name. Clear, guys? Okay, cool. Everything else is same. Everything else is same most of the time. Okay. As you can see, everything else is same. Cool. So this is enough about JSX. Okay. And this JSX is basically written in a JavaScript. Okay, that is something which I won't need to tell you at this point. You will get confused. So I just don't do that. Okay. Now I'm just removing all this and writing hello world. Acha, before going forward, may I know, is it understood by each and every person? Please let me know. And now I need some responses, so please. Okay. And just last time, over here, we are binding. This is our React. This is our HTML. They both are coming over here and binding together to form a React app. ठीक है, basic में, बिल्कुल basic में. ठीक है. This thing, I guess, is each and every person is able to understand. Sir, what was written in rel tag? What was written in rel tag? I don't know. I don't remember, and it is not relevant. So don't worry. Okay. This thing is clear. Now, what about these other files? So report vital.js. This is not necessary at this point. Okay. So report web vitals is basically, it gives you a kind of performance, that how your app is performing. So kind of analytics inside that, some insights about your React application, we don't need to work on it at this point, so we won't never be using it. Second thing is app.test.js and setup tests.js. So basically this is for testing your React application. We won't be doing testing over here. That is why we won't be touching these two also. Okay, so you can even remove them or you can even delete them. This one, this one, this one. Okay, clear guys? Clear? And we have two CSS files. First is index.css and second is app.css. So basically index.css is the CSS file for your index and app.css is the CSS file for your app.js, because in app.js we have the HTML like structure, so you can even add CSS inside into it. Okay, so that it would look pretty. Where there are two JS files, may I know? Anjali, I'm not able to see where are two JS files. We have app.js and index.js now. So you're talking about them. Why we have app.js and index.js? Okay, I have told you, na, index.js is basically app.js is the React application. Okay, and HTML is the HTML page. And over here in index.js, we are binding both of them because, as I've told you, React is different and HTML is different. That is why we have React DOM in between. React DOM is a glue layer. It connects React with HTML. Is it clear? Anjali, is it clear now? React is different. HTML is different. If you want to create a front-end application based on React, you need React DOM. You need React DOM, which is a glue layer. Glue layer means it connects both of them together. So that is why index.js is this glue layer where we have React DOM, and app.js is React, and index.html is the HTML file. Oof. 5 मिनट का ब्रेक ले लें. And all those people who might get confused during this session, in these 5 minutes, please put your doubts in chat so that I can answer them, because I know काफी लोगों को दिक्कत हो रही होगी अभी. See guys, this is very boring part. ठीक है, जब तक मैं कोड करना स्टार्ट नहीं करूंगा, you guys won't feel excited, but you need to understand these things. Although I'll be explaining these things along while I'm coding, but थोड़ा theoretical तो करना पड़ेगा ना, because इंटरव्यू में सिर्फ थ्योरी पूछी जाती है. You can have only one file in React. Having the different files is beauty of React. Yes, we can have a single file also, but we won't be discussing about that at this point. ठीक है, because confuse हो जाएंगे, पहले बहुत confuse हैं लोग. अभी सिर्फ मुझे यही समझाना था कि index.js में क्या होता है, ऐप में क्या होता है और इसमें क्या होता है. ठीक है, प्लीज शो द index.js फाइल अगेन. ये लो, देख लो. No sir, it's not boring. Okay, node.js consists API, ES engine, code callback queue, microtask queue. Gaurav, yes, because this is the part of JavaScript, है ना. JavaScript में जब microtask queue होती है, task queue होती है, JS engine होता है, तो इसमें क्यों नहीं होगा? और JS engine के बारे में तो मैंने पहले ही बता दिया है ना, that V8 is the engine that is used in Node for building Node, है ना. I've told about this yesterday. V8 engine, which is developed by Google for their Google Chrome browser, is used by Node.js, which is in browser. Okay, sir, index.js is glue layer, right? Yes, it is glue layer because it is using React DOM ना, है ना. In React DOM, in index.js हो क्या रहा है? It is just one thing is happening over here, which is we are rendering this React DOM. We are using this render method of React DOM, and we are putting these two values inside it, which means we are binding these two values, React along with our HTML file, है ना. And by the way, we are binding this div. We are binding this div, not the whole HTML file. We are binding this div only. So the other HTML file will be same. Only this div will keep changing if anything in our page changes. Okay? Clear, guys? Okay. तुम ले लो 5 मिनट का ब्रेक, तुम्हें जरूरत है. Suchita, you just need to write the command npm start. Okay, by default, CRA gives you a server, a node-based server, which can help you in running your application. Okay, so you can just run that, and then you would be able to find the URL which you can use for running your application. Okay. Sir, it is not boring explain. Yeah, हाँ मैं explain करूँगा ही. मैं थोड़ी रुक जाऊँगा. भाई मैं क्यों बोलता हूँ मैं पानी ना पीऊँ? Everything is automatically created, Anjali. This whole project is automatically created by. This is what I was saying, that most of these files you will not be changing in your lifetime, at least for next 3-4 years. This whole project is created by Create React App. I haven't changed anything. I was just explaining you the folder structures. विकास 30 मिनट नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा, 1 घंटा ही में. अब हो गया वैसे भी तुम्हारा ब्रेक का टाइम पूरा, तो चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं. हाँ. अच्छा, अभी तक समझ आया जितना भी ये था फोल्डर स्ट्रक्चर? आई होप ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन हु इज प्रेजेंट is now able to understand the folder structure. Not in depth, but at least have the basic idea, because that is what I want कि कल को you would be able to see this folder structure, so you should know कि कहाँ पे क्या होता है. इतना तो क्लियर है ना अभी हर एक इंसान को who is present in this session? Clear guys? Partially. कोई नहीं, सेशन की रिकॉर्डिंग देख लेना, खुद से ऐप बना के just try to create an application and start playing around it. It will give you some errors. You will try to resolve those errors, and then only you will be able to understand. React is something with which you want to make your hand dirty first. Otherwise, you would never be able to understand it. Okay? Don't worry. Just understand about these things, that in source folder you have app and index. In app.js is the entry point for your React application. You have an HTML file, which is the only HTML file present inside your React application. And in index.js, you are just connecting these two things, app with HTML. So basically you are connecting React with HTML. Okay. Let's just move forward. Node.js is supported in Windows 7. अरे भाई सब में support है, सब में supported है, Windows में, Mac में, सब में support है, ऐसी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Anjali, it is supported in all the operating systems, Windows, Mac, and everything. Let's just move to whiteboard for a while because I need to explain something to you guys. Okay, so let's just understand about this thing, that there is a life cycle of React application, like life cycle of React. Okay, by life cycle I mean when it was introduced and how it is working currently. Okay, is it clear, guys? So when React was introduced now, it has two type of it was introduced with two type of components, as we know. First one is functional, second one is class based. Okay, now there is something called state in React. Okay, what does state means? So state is just an object which can have some value, and this value can be changed throughout the application. Okay. Okay. State is just an object which is present inside a component, and this value can be changed. This value can be changed. Is it clear? Throughout the life cycle of that component. We'll discuss about component life cycle. It is a very advanced topic, so we won't be covering it today, but state is something that you need to know. It is just a piece of information that can be updated inside a component. This is clear? State is clear, guys? State is clear, guys? It is just an object which has some value, the value can be changed. Why we are using state? For storing some value. है ना? State is just an object which have some value, and this value can be changed throughout the life cycle of your application. Clear? अरे हिंदी में इसमें तो बहुत ही सिंपल चीज बोली भाई मैंने. स्टेट कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ एक ऑब्जेक्ट है जिसमें कुछ डेटा होता है, ठीक है, और वो डेटा कंपोनेंट की लाइफ साइकिल में जब भी कंपोनेंट में अपडेट भी हो सकता है, डिलीट भी हो सकता है, ये सब हो सकता है, ठीक है. बस वो पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन रहती है उसके अंदर, स्टेट के अंदर, ठीक है. I know I talk a little bit fast. Okay, state is nothing. It is just speak more Hindi. Okay, but other people here don't understand Hindi. Okay, I understand I am fast. Next time if I'm going fast, just start putting fast in chat, okay? I know I speak fast. What can I do? Sir, when you explain new things, your words per minute increases. Please make your speed slow. Okay, okay, I got it. Okay, cool. If I go fast, then just do one thing. Start spamming fast in chat so that I would be able to understand. Okay, this much speed is enough, or this is too slow? I am too fast most of the times. I know that. Okay, I speak very fast. This is my problem. Okay, cool. This is perfect. Cool. So basically, state is nothing. It is just an object. Okay, state is just an object which have some value. Okay, you know what is an object in JavaScript, hai na? It has a key and a value. Okay, this is an object in JavaScript. Now, a state is just an object which has some value, which has some information present inside it, and this information can be changed. This information can be changed throughout the journey of your component. Component could be of two types, functional and class. Abhi clear hai sabko? ठीक है. Now this is theory. So obviously you won't be able to understand कि ये state का करूं क्या. But when I start coding, you would be able to understand. ठीक है. So our point is to understand the difference between two Reacts. This is our old React. This is our new React. There are certain things that has been introduced. ठीक है. In older React, state can only be present in class-based components. Okay. State can only be present in class-based components. Is it clear? And functional components doesn't have state. Is it clear, guys? That is why class-based components are used to be said smart components, and functional components are used to be said dumb components, because they cannot have their own state. Is it clear? Is it clear, each and every person? There is something called state which can only be present in class components, not in functional components. Okay. So that is why whenever you are creating an application, you should start with class-based, and then later on you can add functions. But then React got updated, and what it does is it become more functional component oriented. It becomes more functional component oriented. Okay. Which means they started focusing more on functional components. Which means now functional component can also access state. Okay, Rahul, in older version, what is the question, Rahul? In older version is basically, this is before version 16 point something. This is before 16 point something. This is after 16.4, I would say, or 16, version 16 you can say. Okay. So before 16, we have class-based components, and state can only be present inside class-based components. In functional components, you cannot have state. Is it clear? Okay. And then later on, after the 16 version, they have introduced that now functional components can also have state. So the use of this class-based components declined. है ना? Because earlier people were using class-based components because they can use state inside them. But now if functional component can also have state, so they have started using more of functional components. Is it clear? Okay, this much is clear. This is just a timeline. Now, I will be coming to this timeline again and again in between the lectures because there are certain other things that have also been introduced and we need to understand about those things. At this point, we don't need to understand. At this point, we don't need to know about those things. That is why I'm not explaining them. Okay? But later on, I'll definitely do so. Clear, guys? Okay, great. Now, we know what are components. Okay, we know the basics. We know what is JSX. We know the file structure. And now what we need to do is we need to create a small application. Function-based components can use state with the help of hooks. So basically, they have introduced something called hooks. And one of those hook is called use state. Okay, one of this hook is called use state. So with the help of use state, functional components can now use state. JSX one more time, ठीक है. JSX, okay, we know what it is. It is syntactically की spelling गलत है. अरे यार लिखना पड़ेगा. ओके, मैं बोल ही देता हूँ. JSX is syntactically sugar coated JavaScript, okay, which looks like HTML. ठीक है? JSX is sugar coated JavaScript which looks like HTML, okay, so that a person can easily able to understand it and debug it. Is it clear? Yes, Pratik, you are right. But it can use state without even constructor also. Whenever we want to create something inside React, JSX is only used inside React. Okay, Anjali? So whenever you need to build something in your React application, you need to use JSX. Is it clear? In React, whenever we want to create a component, we use JSX. Okay? It is like HTML. Like HTML. Or I say look like HTML. It looks like HTML. It is not HTML. So I would say it looks like HTML. Okay? And basically there is something called Babel. What it does now, it is a translator. It translates our JSX to the code which our browser understands. Because it is not HTML, browser understands only HTML. Okay, and this is JavaScript. JSX is, you can say, is kind of a JavaScript. So yes, Babel, Babel. Babel is a translator, which is also used in React. Okay, this is also the part of this whole application. It won't be seen to you because like they have not shown it over here. Just understand it that Babel is a translator. It translates JSX into the code which is understood by our browser. Is it clear? Babel, 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 Babel. It is a translator. It translates JSX into a understandable language which our browser can understand. है ना? Because our browser can only understand HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. These are the three things. Is Babel like Sass? No, Sass is totally different. Sass is something else. Okay, Pallavi? Babel is a translator. I'm telling this. Babel is a translator. Okay. You can, if you compare it with a compiler, I would say, yeah, somewhat like that. But it cannot be. Sass is advanced CSS. Yes, Sass is advanced CSS. Sass is like Bootstrap. If you want to compare the two things, then I'm saying. Sass is not a framework, I guess. Like I'm confused about it. Is it a framework or library? I am not sure. I think it is a library. Okay. Babel is understood by each and every person. Babel is understood by each and every person. It is just a translator. We translate your JSX into a code which is understood by your browser. Clear, guys? Anjali, what was your question? I was not able to see your question, I would say. Yes, it's necessary to write. Okay. So Anjali, basically, JSX is the only thing that you can use for writing your components. है ना? Because for building something, or I would say building something in web, you need HTML, but HTML is not present in React. So you have JSX as an alternative, okay, which is a look-like of HTML. Behind the scenes, it is just JavaScript, which is building the whole application for you, but it looks like HTML. So it is easy to understand for you and easy to write for you. Okay. Now you're able to understand, Anjali. Yes, there was index.html, but if you see our code, what was happening over there, na? In index.html, we have a div which have ID root. Okay, and that root ID, what is happening over there is our app.js is loading inside that root ID. So basically, it is loading inside that div. Okay, so whatever JSX you are putting over here is loading inside that div. Are you now able to understand that behind the scenes, what we are doing, we are building everything with the help of JavaScript? Is it clear? Hena, we are building everything with the help of JavaScript. I think most of you guys might have done this with JavaScript. Hena, you have created multiple HTML tags with the help of JavaScript. These kind of assignments, I hope you might have done. So behind the scenes, React is also doing that. Cool. Just let me have water, guys. Okay, our JSX is complete. And now I would even show you something with JSX. Okay, I mean theoretical part of JSX is complete. Now let me even show you the practical part of JSX. Okay, so that you guys would be able to understand. Okay, so as I've told you, it is just like HTML. So I can prove it. So, but okay, you guys have seen the image tag before, है ना? Image tag to was by default over there. Am I correct? It was, na guys? Okay, so we won't add image tag. Let me add an input tag. Okay, so this is what I have done. I have added the input tag, and I can even select the type of input, which over here is okay. So you guys would be able to see that I am able to have an input tag over here. है ना? This is the input tag, and it is of type password. So we are able to type password over here. Were you guys able to see that? It is just like HTML, but we cannot have class. Okay, we can have other things also, like a normal p tag, and you can put your data inside that. Like this is something that I have written. I would be able to see that. Okay, I can even have a list. It is also same, an ordered list, and I'll have li apple we'll be able to see this also. This is an ordered list. Okay, new div. Yes, we can have a new div. We can have a new div. Word. Okay, this is a new div. What we cannot have now, guys, whenever your React component returns something, it can only return a single div. It cannot return two divs like this, or I would say a single component. It can only return a single JSX component, not double. If I do this, you can see it is giving me error that you cannot do so. Okay, I can, whatever I need to put, I can put inside this div, but I cannot give two divs. It should be wrapped inside only one single div. Okay. How the text is coming in middle of the page in this standard format? Well, it is coming because of the CSS. Text align center. Okay, are we? Can inline styling also be done? Yes, I will show you this. You can have many divs as you can, but wrapped inside. Yes, Javed. Okay. Every doubt has been cleared, or do anybody have any other doubts? Predefined? It is not predefined. It is like, see, it is mentioned over here. If I remove this, then you won't be able to see them in bit in center. Hai na? This is just a normal CSS file, which you are applying on your app.js. How? Basically, okay, this is how you can use the CSS file. So basically you can have a CSS file and then you can just import it directly, and you need to put the path of that file, import and path of the file. Okay. Then you would be able to see the CSS. You would be able to use the CSS file. Is it clear? No need from as in, no, yeah, you don't need from. See, you need from when you are importing some kind of function. Okay. Like for example, in app.js, you can see we are exporting. Okay. We are exporting this component also. We have created the component, then we are exporting the component. That is why when we are importing it, we need to put app, because we are importing app. Okay. I think export and import has been covered in JavaScript also. Okay, this was not. Okay, cool. So basically what we are doing now. So see, this is a JavaScript file and we are exporting out of this. So this is a function. We are exporting this function out of it. We can export a normal variable out of this also. We can export anything out of this. But when we are importing those things now, so see, let's just assume that it has 2-3 functions. This file has 2-3 functions. One function is app, second is app2, third is app3, and I am exporting multiple functions. And in a particular file, a person needs to access only app function, not app1, not app2, only app. So what he will do, he don't need to import all the functions which are present in this file. He can import only that particular function. Is it clear to you guys now? Okay, and I think I might have go a little bit faster. So just one more time. For example, this file have multiple functions. Let's say app, app1 and app2. Now I am exporting all 3 of these functions from this file. Okay? And there is some other file where I want to use these functions, but I only want to use app. So why do I need to import app1 and app2 also? I don't want to do that. That is why we have this kind of structure, so that you can import. If you see over here, we can import only that particular function or method or variable which we want to use out of that particular file. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Okay, is it clear now? May I know, please? Yes. I'm repeating just one last time. So for example, if in a file, we have 2-3 functions, I would say A, okay. We have 3 functions, A, B, and C. Okay, this one is a function, this one is a method, and this one is a variable. From there, this is in file 1. And here I have file 2. Now in file 2, I want to use this C only. So rather than importing all of them, because I am exporting A, B, and C, and I want to use C only in this file, I can export only one by this. Sorry, I can import only one by this. Import C from then file name, rather than importing the whole file and all the functions. Is it clear now? Because this is the last time I'm explaining. Yes, for files, we don't need it. Because CSS is a file. You're not exporting different things out of it. Hai na? This is a normal file. That is why we did it so. But for logos, for images, we need to do it. Why? Because what we are doing is, over here, we are assigning this image to this variable. Okay, you can have directly the URL of image also, but this is something that you can do. You can directly have this also in your image tag. In source, you can put this directly rather than, or if you want to import it and store it in a variable, then you can put that variable over there. It is up to you. Like for example, we have imported this now. Let me show you. I can have this img tag src, and okay. First of all, whenever you want to use any variable inside JSX, because obviously this is a function, so we can define any variables inside it now. For example, I would say let x is equal to 5. Okay, guys, let x is equal to 5. And if I want to use the value of x over here, so I need to do this. I need to use these curly braces and put my value inside this. So x I will put over here, and now I would be able to see, okay, I'm seeing some error because I haven't put any source. Let me put this logo in the source. Okay, now you guys can see I'm able to see logo, and I am able to see 5 over here, which is a value of this x. Okay. You guys able to understand how we can use variables inside this? Now I was telling you guys that what if I don't want to import an image like this, then I can do directly this. Okay, it is not working because it might be on different folder or something like that. No, it is on same folder. You need to do something like this. No. Okay, then this is the only way. This is the only way, guys. Okay. Why we are using input here? Because I want to close this tag. If you don't want to use input over here, then you need to just close the tag. Okay, JSX tags should be closed. JSX tags should be closed. It will work even then also. Okay, don't worry. Although I would suggest whenever you are writing JSX code, just close your tags with a different tag. Okay, like write your code with a opening and closing tag. Because unlike HTML, this should be closed always. In HTML, you can like, it is not needed to close some of the tags, but over here you need to do so. Okay. Okay, but now you're able to understand now. I know that input doesn't have an enclosing tag, but over here this is JSX, this is not HTML, as I've told you. Which div part? Which div part? भाई कौन सा div का part बताऊं मैं? यूज ऑफ div कुछ नहीं बोला था मैंने, ये बोला था मतलब बहुत ही ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया ना. मैंने ये बोला था उस टाइम पे कि a particular function, a particular component in Java, in React, can only return a single JSX tag. Okay, everything should be encapsulated inside it. It cannot have two divs or two p tags, any of the tags. Okay, it could be any of JSX tag. It cannot return any one tag. It should have, oh sorry, it cannot return any two tags. It should have only one tag to be returned. Is it clear now? It can only return one value. It cannot return two values. Clear? Without div tag means if you want to remove div, do so. कोई issue नहीं है. It will work same. Is this your question, Anjali? Without div tag, you can have any tags over there. You can have any tags over there. Can we say the div will work same as body tag? No. No, it will not. First of all, you are not changing the body tag, Vishal. As I have told you, you are changing something inside here. So you are by default inside body tag. Okay. Although if you want to put body over there, you can do so. But that is not HTML. So don't worry. Your HTML won't get confused because that is not HTML. That is JSX. Okay. Please stop for today. Very good. क्यों भाई क्या हो गया इतनी जल्दी? रुक जाओ, एक दो चीजें और करनी है अभी. Let's just see that how you can use inline CSS. Okay, let's just see how you can use inline CSS. भाई कुछ नहीं होता अभी, बस inline CSS 2 मिनट का काम है, वो देख लो. Inline CSS guys, inline CSS. Okay, so just same thing, style, but over here this takes the value as an object. This takes the value as an object. So what you will do, this and this. Why we are putting these curly braces twice? Because first one is for having some value inside it, because we are passing some value inside it, and that value is an object. That is why we are having two curly braces. Is it clear? First one is for because we want to pass a value, and the second one is for because that value is an object. Clear? Is it clear to each and every person? Why I have like written two curly braces over here, two pairs of curly braces. First one is because we are using something apart normal text, and second one is because it is an object. Now what you can do is you can have, as it is an object, then you can have all like key value pairs. So the key value pairs would be, for example, I would say back, CROUND, background color. Now see this, there is difference. अरे यार कहाँ चला जाता है ये? Everyone. Okay, this is the value background color green. So as you can see, in normal CSS we use hyphens, but hyphens are not used over here. You just use background, then a capital letter for the next word instead of hyphen. Is it clear? First we can use JavaScript and use means object. Yes, Javed, you are correct. Okay, so let's just see. Yes, it has changed the color to green. Okay, now if you want to add any more property, like, so you would need to do comma, because this is what you do inside an object, है ना? Border, then we can have everything should be inside parentheses. 1px solid black. So you would be able to see this border also. Okay, same like this you can have your styles, or you can do one more thing. You can put your styles over here. Let y is equal to this whole value. Let y is equal to this whole value. And it will still work. Okay, these are the two ways. Now I have shown you three ways of writing styles. First one is very normal. 1pc. Oh sorry, अरे px होगा वो, ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं है. ठीक है, वो 1px करते तो बहुत ही पतला हो गया बॉर्डर, तो उसे थोड़ा बढ़ा देते हैं. Just do it 10px. okay, where is border? It is over here, black. It was visible now this time, guys. So I have shown you three ways. First one is you can directly import a file. Second one is this. Third one is inline. है ना? Clear? चलो अब क्वेश्चन पूछ लो. If you have any questions, please ask. RB, this is not node. This is React. This is not node. Vishal, this is not, this is just a way. There is no name. This is also inline, by the way. This is also inline CSS because you're putting styles in line. है ना? Okay, there is no specific name for them. मयंक मैं समझा नहीं. We will everything in function app मतलब Madhuwala, what I need to repeat? Yes, currently because I am teaching you guys about JSX. From tomorrow, we will start looking into different components like class-based and function components, and we'll see the differences. Okay. And I'll start with class-based components first. Madhubala, I haven't done anything. I have just stored this value, this object in a variable. I have just stored the value of an object in a variable and just put it over there. So there is like, this is the basic thing. No? This is the basic thing that we have done over here. Earlier, I was just putting this object directly over here. Now I am storing this value in some variable and then I'm putting that variable over there. Is it clear? Which is most preferable? This one. Because obviously you would be adding very much of CSS. Then why to spoil your code? है ना? Better to have a different CSS file. I would always suggest to use a different CSS file, Javed. It doesn't depend. Which function we used here? It is a normal function. This is a normal JavaScript function. RV. How many type of functions do you know? Now don't say arrow functions. This is a functional component, no? This is a functional declaration. If you see, this is how we declare functions in JavaScript. So obviously, this is a functional component. If class is written over here and we have declared a class, that is a class-based component. Okay. From tomorrow, we'll be looking into class-based components because they were introduced first. Okay. When you want to have a wrapper, we use div. When we don't want a wrapper, we use fragment. Yes. Fragment is nothing. Fragment is just this. You can declare more functions, but you won't declare them inside this, no? Because this is React, and for each and every functionality, we have different things. We will do it, Rahul. Don't worry. Just understand that each and every component is a function, and you cannot have two components inside same file. I mean, you can have, but it is not a good thing to do. Okay? Because what's the point of using React when you're writing the whole code in single file? Hai na? Am I correct, Rahul? Having multiple files will make it easy to debug your code, and it will make your code clean. Then what is a tag? Tags are present in HTML, not in JSX. Hai na? I'm calling them tags so that you would be able to understand, but these are not tags. I mean, we call them tags. They look like tags, but they are not tags. This is JSX. Hai na? Showing 1y. App.css showing 1y. Not able to understand, Mayank. कहाँ पे बना रहा है? Because I have made one change and I have not saved it, or I have not done something, that is why it is showing 1. Otherwise it won't show it. Okay. It is showing 1 because of this actually. If I remove this, it won't show 1. If this is fragment, I haven't introduced fragments to you guys today, so don't worry about them. ठीक है, जब टाइम आएगा मैं समझा दूंगा, अभी मत करो, ठीक है? अब जिसे फ्रेगमेंट पता है उसने बोला तो मैंने उसे समझाया. If I haven't introduced fragments to you at this point, then don't worry, बाद में समझ आ जाएंगे. If you have already learned advanced topics, you can ask them. But मैं हर एक को advanced topic अभी नहीं समझाऊंगा ना, because I know this is not the time. We removed alignment from CSS. Yes, I have removed alignment from CSS, and that is why it became an empty object, you can say. That is why it is showing me one, that okay, it is of no use, then why it is present in your CSS file. Concept is clear, just need revision, sir. Great, Mayank. Anyone else? Any questions? Oh yeah, Amit wanted to say something. Amit, are you present? Should I unmute you? Okay, cool. Just unmuting you. Yes, Amit, please go on.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible, Amit.
Sir, actually what I was about to say, ये क्या है ना कि काफी लोग बोल रहे थे, तो I thought maybe like see everybody shouting won't make a difference, but then one person may say ताकि वो बात thoroughly put across हो पाए. तो एक तो ये होता है, this you would also agree through our academics, what we would have learned is कि जब कभी you know the faculty changes, थोड़ा सा एक kind of rhythm में कहीं loss वो दिखता है.
Yep.
So that is one thing which I feel all of us, I mean the batch as a whole is kind of going through. और एक चीज, see I personally am not of that caliber that I would kind of judge your knowledge or expertise, and please forgive me for saying anything of that sort, but क्या है ना कि जो आप अब तक, मैंने आज आधा घंटा का जो क्लास हुआ, जो कोडिंग वाला जो पार्ट अभी आप कर रहे थे, उसके पहले it was more of a story kind of thing according to me, now not according to everybody else. लेकिन तब तक क्या लग रहा था ना कि it is kind of story kind of thing, and personally me and a few of us, we were unable to relate कि अच्छा कैसे क्या करना है. That was one thing. And second thing, sir, अगर आप देखो तो कल रात में 11 बजे एक 13 असाइनमेंट्स का, एक 13 क्वेश्चंस का एक असाइनमेंट मिला, और आज भी एक असाइनमेंट मिला है. तो ये थोड़ा सा सर क्या है ना कि like okay, understood, like we have to move according to some plan. We cannot get कि चलो ठीक है आज ये कर लेते हैं, बाद बाकी छोड़ देते हैं. लेकिन उसके साथ ना सर, जैसे असाइनमेंट में भी कि कुछ अगर now I personally don't want you to कि आप बता दो कि असाइनमेंट क्या क्या करना है, लेकिन how at least to proceed to begin with. तो वो है. और थोड़ा सा ना सर क्लास जो है ना वो थोड़ा सा सर कहानी टाइप का लग रहा था सर, इसीलिए मैं इसीलिए चाहा कि मैं आपको खुलकर बात करूं. और
एक्चुअली कहानी अभी लगेगी क्लास, बिकॉज द रीजन इज ना, अभी आपको कोड समझ आया बिकॉज कोड बहुत सिंपल था
जी.
अभी विद टाइम क्या होगा, जैसे आपने खुद देखा अभी इतने से प्रोजेक्ट में कितना छोटा सा एप्लीकेशन था वो, है ना?
जी.
उसके लिए आपने देखा कितनी सारी फाइल्स थी.
जी.
अब प्रॉब्लम ये होगा, अगर कल को आपको फाइल्स का पता नहीं होगा ना, तो मैं कोड कराना स्टार्ट कर दूंगा और आपको समझ भी आएगा, लेकिन आप करने बैठोगे ना तो आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कौन सी फाइल में क्या चेंज करूंगा, फिर आप बार बार वीडियो देखोगे. और उसमें क्या होता है ना, जब आप बार बार वीडियो देखते हो तो ऑटोमेटिकली एक सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस डाउन जाता है, क्योंकि मैंने देखा हुआ है पिछले बैचेस में भी, तो इट हैपेंस. दैट इज व्हाई मैं स्टार्टिंग के 1-2 सेशंस को कहानी की तरह इसलिए ले रहा हूँ कि एटलीस्ट आपके दिमाग में चीज बैठ जाए कौन सी फाइल में क्या है, तो आपको पता हो कि गलत हो रहा है तो कहाँ पे हो रहा होगा. नहीं तो वो क्या होगा ना, लेटर ऑन यू वुड स्टार्ट like you'll have my session, you will see that okay this is very simple, I can do it. आप कर भी लोगे, but then फिर क्या होगा, each and every time for creating an assignment or solving a very small problem you need to go through the video. तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि यार मैं बिना वीडियो के तो कर ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ.
राइट.
तो दैट इज व्हाई वो कहानी आई टोटली अंडरस्टैंड कि बहुत बोरिंग होता है, मुझे खुद भी पता है, बट वो जरूरी है.
और एक
आपको बहुत
एक ना नवनीत, एक और छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट ये थी, आई एम कॉलिंग यू बाय नेम बिकॉज आई एम थोड़ा सा एज वाइज मैं बड़ा हूं,
नॉट एन इशू.
तो एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट थी कि वो जो आप वो स्लेट पर जो लिखते हो, इफ पॉसिबल इफ वी कैन डू विथ टाइपिंग. आई नो it will take much of your time and it becomes very clumsy. लिखते रहना, टाइप करते रहना. I personally don't like typing very much. तो वो थोड़ा सा एक और इशू मैंने था, वो मेरे तरफ से भी था, बाद बाकी लोगों की तरफ से भी था. एंड हैविंग सेड दैट, अगर और किसी को कुछ और ऐड करना हो इसमें, तो यू कैन आस्क देम टू काइंड ऑफ स्पीक टू यू.
यस यस, इसके लिए यू गाइस कैन रेज योर हैंड और एक बार आप चैट पे डाल दो, सो वी कैन डू. और असाइनमेंट्स के लिए व्हाट वी कैन डू ना, असाइनमेंट्स के लिए आप लोग पूछ लिया करो, कोई इशू नहीं है. या तो सेशन के स्टार्ट में
एक चीज सर, असाइनमेंट का एक मैं छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट आपसे करना चाहूंगा, इफ पॉसिबल, इफ यू कैन टॉक टू न्यूटन स्कूल पीपल, कि ये जो टाइमिंग देखो, अभी सोनू ने लिखा टाइम के लिए या कुछ जो है, तो टाइमिंग ना उसमें शायद 6 तारीख या कुछ लास्ट डेट लिखा हुआ है सबमिशन का. तो आई